I'm Chef Paul, and we're back in the kitchen again. And we're going to do a fantastic dessert for you today. It's a Meyer lemon vegan cheesecake. Now, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but we've already made, in one of our previous videos, we made the cashew cream with the Meyer lemon juice and zest that we're going to use in this. What we need to do now is we need to make a crust, and we need to make the compote or the sauce that we're going to decorate this wonderful cheesecake with, okay? And again, this is going to be vegan, strictly vegan, no animal product, strictly plant-based. But all of these items are so easy to find in the supermarket or even in your own home. Now, I've got my trusty food processor here, and I've got some more of these beautiful raw almonds, okay? And we're going to add about 1.5 cups of raw almonds to our bowl. And these are Medjool dates. Medjool dates, these are pitted, and these are going to be some of the sweetener in our dish, but also help to bind it, okay? And that's about 1/2 cup of Medjool date. We're going to add some maple syrup or some agave. And again, this is not low calorie. This is just every calorie that we're using is going to be a good calorie. Nutritious, nutrient dense. We're using coconut. This is unsweetened grated coconut. And we're going to add that in to give a nice sort of nutty flavor. We're going to add some coconut oil to the dish. Again, this is not low fat. This has fat and it has sugars and sweetener, but these are all natural and not refined. The last thing we're going to add is a little bit of sea salt. And what the salt does is that it offsets all the sweetness that you're going to find within there. All right, now just pop the top on. We don't want it too ground up. We want it just to hold enough together. And let's pulse it. A little bit more, and we're going to add just a little bit of water here. Okay, and that's all it takes to make the crust for our beautiful cheesecake. Okay, almonds, dates, maple syrup or agave, a little bit of salt, and a little coconut oil. This is a 6-inch spring-loaded or spring form pan, and all I did was put a piece of paper on the bottom because I want to get it off the base a lot easier. And all we're going to do here is we're just going to add most of the almond mix. And we want to leave about 1/2 cup or so for later, okay? And again, we're just doing this on the bottom, and you can with your spatula or with your spoon, just push the base down into the bottom of the springform pan. Now, make it kind of even. Just like that. And you don't have to build the side to it. This is just going on the base. I like to kind of push my spatula around the edge just to make sure that it's sitting flat and all the way in. Okay. Now, we're going to pop that into the refrigerator for about an hour just to let it firm up, and then we're going to come back and take the cashew cream that we made in an earlier video on top and layer it. But now what we want to do, make sure to just keep this for decoration for later on our cheesecake, okay? But how simple is that? No baking required, and all natural, beautiful ingredients. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make the compote for the filling here, okay? We are going to take the strawberries. This is about half a cup of strawberries. I'm going to save these for decoration. And if you want, you can chop these up a little more if you like. If you have some strawberries that are not quite ripe, this is a great place to use them in the compote, because you're going to add some other flavors to it. All right, I'm just going to add that here like this. We're going to add a little agave or maple syrup, whatever you're using. And we're going to turn that on, and we're just going to bring it to a simmer. Using a whisk or a masher, just work the juice out of the berries. If you don't want to do strawberries, you could do blueberries, you could do raspberries, any sort of berries at all. Okay? And then we're going to thicken it. And this will take about 3 to 5 minutes to come to boil and soften up all the berries. If you don't have fresh berries, you could use frozen berries as well. The myth about frozen berries being not as good as fresh berries, they have to pick and freeze the berries when they are at their ultimate freshness. So yes, you may lose a little bit of nutritional basis or nutritionist points off it, but not too many. It's now come to a boil, and we're just going to continue to let this simmer until it thickens up. We're going to add a little arrowroot to the mix. I like arrowroot instead of cornstarch because the arrowroot won't make the compote turn white. Okay, the arrowroot will give the beautiful natural color of the berries. And so if you just look here at the compote, a lot more juice is going to come out of the berries, but you've got a beautiful strawberry topping that's going to go on top of our cheesecake. The last thing we're going to do to the dish is add a little bit of vanilla. And again, only use pure vanilla essence, don't use imitation. And we're just going to let that stir and continue, and that will go on the top of our beautiful cheesecake. We've got some beautiful strawberries and blackberries, raspberries and blueberries. All of these are going to adorn our beautiful Meyer lemon cheesecake. Our crust is all set up. We put that into the refrigerator for a couple of hours. And here we have our beautiful cashew cream that we made in an earlier video. Just to recap, we used soaked cashews, lemon juice, Meyer lemon juice and zest, some coconut oil and some vanilla, and we put that all together. Okay, and the juice of the lemons as well. And now all we're going to do is pour this in to our cheesecake. because the cheese is actually the ground up cashew cream that we put together. All right, just make sure we get all that out of there. This is one where you can lick the bowl. It's that good. Okay. Take that little bit of an edge off there. And again, as you can see, that just looks like a regular cheesecake. And we just give it a bit of a shake to make sure we get all the bubbles out. And now that's going to go in the freezer. Again, no baking, nothing else to this in our springform pan once that's set up and frozen. If you're worried about your freezer getting a little freezer burn on top of the cake, just put a little plastic film over the top and it will work really, really well. So this is off to the freezer for about, if you can do 4 hours or 5 hours, that'd be really great. You can even do it a day ahead of time. If you remember, what we did earlier was we took some almonds and some Medjool dates and some maple syrup, and we crushed it up to make a beautiful crust. And we saved just a little bit of the crust because we're going to use that to sprinkle on top. We made our compote of strawberries. The recipe actually tells you to filter that through a fine mesh sieve. I kind of like to leave it as is. I think it does a little nicer job that way. We made our cashew cream with the Meyer lemon juice and maple syrup and cashews. And we ground that all up into a cheese. So now we're ready to unplate, or to plate up and to finish up our dish. And so the springform pan comes right out like that. And there's our beautiful cheesecake. Can you see that? Look at how beautiful that is. We might have to just spread off a little bit on the edges just to make it look a little prettier. But there's our beautiful, and you can see the crust and the cheese layer. It's so beautiful. All right, and now let's just see if we can ease this off onto our plate. There we go. How beautiful is that, huh? Now, we're going to take this wonderful strawberry glaze and we're just going to put a little on the top. Just like that. And we just kind of let it ooze a little bit down the edges. Don't worry, you don't have to put it all on the top because you may want to add some when you cut a piece and serve. There we go. There we go. And now we're going to add some berries. I've got beautiful blueberries. What I did on the strawberries is you turn them upside down after you've rinsed them and you cut them in very thin slices so that when you turn it inwards like that, it fans out. So we're going to put one there like that, and we're going to fan this one here like that, and we're going to fan this one here like that. We're going to add some more blueberries. Whoop. We're going to add some raspberries. And I'm going to put a nice batch of blackberries in the middle. Just like that. Look at how gorgeous that is. You can put a few berries around the edge. And some more strawberries if you've got them. Just like that. And to finish it off, you just take a little bit of the nut filling and sprinkle it on top. Just like that. Don't go too crazy. Just add a nice little feature of the extra topping on that. And I think you'll see how beautiful that looks. Always clean your plate. There we go. And that's our Meyer lemon vegan cheesecake. So shall we cut it? I'm going to try cutting a little piece here. What helps is if you let the cake sit, this has come out of the freezer, if you let the cake sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now remember, this is not fat-free, but it's really, really good, and it's healthy, and it's natural, and it's vegan. All right, let's take a slice out of here. There we go. And that's my cheesecake. And I can dribble just a little bit more strawberry on it. We hope you're going to enjoy that wonderful dessert. Doesn't it look wonderful? Make sure you stay tuned for more of our great recipes on our channel here at Henry Ford, West Bloomfield, DK Kitchen.